You like that jam, Frank?
Inspector Gadget's ready to do something.
What's that?
It sounds like Inspector Gadget's ready to do something.
Inspect the gadgets.
Go Gadget Arms.
To the program, everybody. Vero's already in the chat. Hello, Vero. Hopefully you all geared up, ready to rock and roll for the Thanksgiving. Lots of fun things we're going to be talking about today. We're, of course, going to get to our YouTube polls. Also some quizzes and some other things in there. We also have the things you did not know. We're going to get to Pong, Michael Jackson's Thriller, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, the original PlayStation, Ozzy Osbourne, Black Mirror, and Good Will Hunting. All of these, as well as a draft of Christmas specials. And for the third option for the Christmas specials, I've actually just gone to a random ranking website. And so Frank and I will pick, and then that website will get to choose. Well, actually, should we let the website pick first, or we should let it pick third?
Screw the robots.
All right. Well, then you know what? This will be the first time I don't have to pick third. We'll go from there. But yeah, everybody, welcome to the old program. Nightmare's here. Hello. Frank's,
Hello.
They say you're looking all fancy in your collared shirt. Look at you looking all dapper dandy.
I've worn this a few times.
Have
Just
you?
my Florida State painter shirt.
Oh, see,
Hey,
there
look,
you go.
we're
You completely
2 and
undo the
20.
fanciness when you're talking about
Really?
the fact that it's Florida State. What the hell's that? Your undershirt?
I didn't button it all the way. Look at that, sexy
Oh my
time.
God. Of course not.
It's rated R for retired.
Retired. I thought you were retired. All right, here we go. Let's get to some YouTube polls. You can find these over on my YouTube channel, of course, at The Real Brandalorian. Go to the posts or community section over there. Let's take a gander here. What was the last one that we have? What is the best Charlie Brown / Peanuts special? Now, I wrapped these around specifically the ones that have to do with a holiday, because, you know, there are a lot of other ones out there that, like, I think the second one ever was actually called Charlie Brown All-Stars. It was like a baseball one. But the four that I put up there were Be My Valentine, Charlie Brown, a Charlie Brown Christmas, a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, or It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Frank, what do you think won the poll?
It's time for rehab, Charlie Brown. That was the best special that he ever had.
Well, that wasn't wrapped around a holiday, though, so.
Oh.
Oh, I guess St.
That's gonna
Patrick's
be
Day.
That's gonna be the Christmas special. I mean, that's the one that's
Christmas
known for.
special, you are correct.
Halloween was second.
Yep, 65% of people voted for Christmas, 21% voted for It's a Great Pumpkin. Thanksgiving coming in at 13th, and then Be My Valentine got a whopping 1% of the vote.
Who was his Valentine?
I don't remember. Wasn't it the red-haired girl?
I don't know. Just remember he went to camp.
All right. Next YouTube poll was, what is the best Back to the Future movie?
Ooh.
It's pretty simple. 1, 2, or 3. What do you think won the poll? And if it's different, which one is your favorite?
I mean, it's gonna be the first one, and that's my favorite. So.
Yep. Yeah, pretty runaway. 79% of people voted for that one. I had a weird hankering to watch Back to the Future 2 today, and I have no idea why.
They had been on TV, on Sci-Fi. They were showing them. They had that. Oh, I was a couple weekends ago. I was sat up for 6 hours just watching it through. I think that's becoming my favorite trilogy.
You know, that's not a bad one to enjoy.
Hey.
Vero's talking about Linus's monologue from the Christmas special. That's boring as sin. Jesus Christ. I know people like the Linus part of that, but it bores me to tears. It's like if I wanted to read the Bible, I'd go to church, but whatever. That's like we did this before my wife and I got married. We had to go do this. It was called Engaged Encounters, and it's where the couples who are going to go get married, you spend a weekend together with other couples that are getting married. And you you fill out these journals, and you go through what are some of the pitfalls that you're going to come through, and like how do you deal with them. It's kind of to prepare you for marriage in the Catholic world. And there was one part where If you wanted to say something like towards the end, if you wanted to say something special about your partner, you kind of go up and you kind of talk to him and you can say something special about him. And this one dude literally went up and read from the fucking Bible. And it was, oh my God. Oh my God. It was so boring.
Did you go catch a giant catfish?
No. But if you've ever seen the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode when Mac is just reading from the Bible and he just, it's all about firmament. And he says firmament like 1,000 times in a row. That's what it was like listening to this dude read from the fucking Bible. It was so fucking boring. Next YouTube poll. What is Disney's best movie that takes place in or around the ocean? Finding Nemo, Lilo and Stitch, Moana, or The Little Mermaid? Frank, what do you think won the poll?
I think it's Finding Nemo. That's most ocean that you can get.
You are correct. Yeah, 58% of people voted for that. There's a lot of people in the comments complaining about how it was beating out The Little Mermaid, which coincidentally enough tied with Lilo and Stitch for second.
I mean, a lot of Little Mermaid was on land, so how can you be upset about that?
Well, it's because the whole point was what's in or around the ocean. There's literally a song in The Little Mermaid called Under the Sea, Frank.
Yeah, but that's only like the first 30 minutes. Little Nemo was the entirety of the ocean or in an aquarium.
You mean Finding Nemo?
Willem Dafoe was a creepy angelfish.
Yeah, he was. Although, honest to God, Moana, underrated. That's a really good movie. Although I don't think I'm going to go see Moana 2.
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Oh, by the way, if you also want to get people to absolutely just hate on you and
read the comments.
Well, yeah, that happens regardless. And then also to unfollow your page due to, I'm only assuming, is homophobia, is recommend the movie Wicked. I got so many comments. I'm unfollowing your page. I'm blocking your page. No, I'm not gay. Why would I go see that? No, but I think my wife and daughter are going to see it. It was a great movie. I can't recommend it enough. I enjoyed it. And I'm not a musical guy. Like even Donnie, who I will get movie recommendations for. He's the one that will pop in every for the third time for our movie drafts. He even commented, he's like, nah, I'm not going to go check it out because I don't like musicals. I'm not necessarily a musical person, but Wicked was on point, dude. Like it was bomb.
We should find out what the guy that unfollowed you thought about West Side Story, the original.
Oh, Jesus.
Nuts.
All right, next YouTube poll: which Disney Renaissance movie is the best? So back-to-back polls here: The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, or Aladdin?
Oh,
there you go. It's a tough one, huh?
I'm going with Lion King just because I think that has a little bit more sway, but it wouldn't shock me if it was Aladdin.
No, Beauty and the Beast.
Really?
43% of people voted for Beauty and the Beast.
Because Celine Dion sang on the soundtrack?
I don't know. For me personally, it's Aladdin. All day, every day. Like,
see, I love Aladdin. I just thought with Lion King, with everything that was with that, I thought that would be the one that would pull it. But all right.
Oh, and one person got very angry.
Oh, yeah? People got angry on the internet?
They didn't quite understand what Disney Renaissance meant. They put the fact that Lion King is on a Renaissance-style pole and Hunchback of Notre Dame isn't as a travesty. When was the year even mentioned?
He's got a point.
And Aladdin is like feudal times, too. Get these off and find actual Disney Renaissance-style movies, my guy. Which, by the way, I'm starting to learn, if anybody calls you my guy or buddy or whatever, like, you're just being a dick is really all you're doing. And then multiple people, and then I even jumped in, that they corrected the guy to be like, hey, so no, it's not Renaissance. Like it's not taking place during, it's not a period piece. It's Disney's Renaissance era, which took place from 1989 to 1999. Now, to this guy's credit, he did hop in and he was like, I see, my bad, guys. So,
all right. And he didn't delete his original comment.
He didn't, no. Like, that's it. Like, you know what? Like, more power to you, buddy. All right, next YouTube poll. A lot of Disney, because we talked about a lot of Disney on last week's live stream. So if you missed any of that, go check it out.
Disney gets the views.
What is the best Toy Story movie?
Oh.
1, 2, 3, or 4?
I've only seen one, and that was the first one. So I don't know what the others are about. So is the third one where he goes to college?
I get them all mixed up. I know that. God damn it. I think 3 is the one that's like super sad because they're like getting ready to get dumped into the incinerator because they end up over at like Andy gives up the toys. I think.
That's what I think. Number 3 would be it, just because of those emotions involved in it, and people get emotional. Well, as you can tell.
No, number 1.
Really?
Yeah, 67% of people liked the first Toy Story.
Never seen him.
All right, now we have a quiz here, and this is a callback to last week's live stream. So, Frank, you should remember this.
I won't.
How many strands of hair does Elsa have in the first Frozen? Is it?
I think it was a couple million.
50,000, 100,000, 400,000, or 750,000?
400,000 there, Bob.
You're correct, Ted. 400,000. And actually, this is something I left out, I think, of last week's live stream. A new software program had to be created. It was called Tonic in order to accomplish the task of rendering Elsa's hair.
I think you talked about that. I think I remember that much. Like 17 computers or something like that, how to handle it.
All right, now this poll went up. Hold on, let me refresh here because it's showing it only went up 3 hours ago and it went up this morning. Yeah, here we go. All right. So it's a pretty simple one. Do you watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? 3 options on the list. Yes, I never miss it. Yes, I'll watch if it's on. Or no, it's not my jam.
Yes.
Well, which one?
Yes. I watch it.
So it's either I never miss it or I'll watch it if it's on.
I think it's going to be I'll watch it if it's on. I think most people, maybe 20, 30 years ago, when there weren't a lot of channels, but I think now it's I'll watch it if it's on.
Yeah, 51% of people say they'll watch it if it's on. 42% say, nope, not my jam. And 7% say, I never miss it.
I think that's one thing I was like, if I had a bucket list, that would be on my bucket list, is to find like a hotel or a rental that's along the Macy's Day route.
That would be dope.
And go up to, but that'd be expensive. Like
Like in Seinfeld. Because remember in Seinfeld, you know, they go
The night
watch them blow
before.
up the balloons.
Woody Woodpecker.
And don't forget, or if you have forgotten, go look up the Thanksgiving Day Parade of 1997. Major winds wreaked havoc all over that parade.
Pick out like 2 balloons.
Yeah, it was one of them was Barney, which I think the cops actually knifed it open to open it up so that they could get it to drop down because it was swaying back inside. And then who was the other? Oh, Cat in the Hat. That one actually put somebody in a coma for like a week.
So we have a springtime parade here, and the Boy Scouts and our troop and I think and a few others decided to rent a balloon, and it was a Popeye balloon, but it was like maybe half the size of what you get in New York, right?
Mhm.
And it was a good idea, and you know, just oh, hey, let's have one. The problem is they didn't think out that our street lights go across the street on the top. They're not on the side like New York is.
So it was going
So
to collide with
every
the balloon.
every time they came forward, they had to pull the balloon down, and he had to limbo under the street lights. And
Oh
then
my God.
they'd let him back up, and they'd walk him to the next street, and they'd pull him down, and it was just like the whole crowd started doing the limbo music. So every time they pulled it down, it was just the funniest thing.
How low can you go? How low can you go? All right.
Oh, it was great.
Let's switch our little scenes right there and let's get ready.
Ready, Freddy.
Things that you did not know about Pong.
Pong.
So Pong was released on November 29th, 1972. And it actually was not the first video game. That title goes to a game called Computer Space.
Computer space.
Computer Space.
Hitting it on the nose over
Clearly,
there.
they used all their creativity on the name. It was released.
No one's gonna play this game.
It was released a year before Pong, and it featured a rocket taking on flying saucers in a star field. Looks like a lot of games that were released back then.
Man.
So,
Oof.
the game Pong was created by Alan Alcorn. He was a new developer at Atari. They told him when he was hired that he needed to create a game. And this was actually more of a training exercise to show that he would put in the effort, since when he was hired, he had very little experience. So this was more of a test, if anything. Atari soon realized how good the game was, and they ended up releasing it. And it ended up becoming the first successful arcade game, selling 8,000 machines in its first year.
Look how simple those controllers were.
It was a knob. It's just a
It
knob.
was the start button and then the knobs, and
that's
that's it. You could play yourself if you wanted to. That's what she said. But
I mean,
practice, ladies. It was practice.
it was also involved in the first video game lawsuit. Ralph Baer, who invented the Magnavox Odyssey, which, by the way, I cannot see or even say Magnavox without thinking of Magnetvox, which is the knockoff from The Simpsons. Remember when they're like, they got all the best brands. Look, Sony, Magnetbox. So Ralph Baer, who invented the Magnavox Odyssey, he felt that the game was too similar to the table tennis game that was on his console, and that case ended up getting settled out of court. Now, Atari loaned out the first prototype of Pong to a local bar, and within a couple of days, it broke down. You know why?
They spill their beer on it?
No. Too many people were playing the game, and there was an overflow of coins on the inside.
Oh.
So they realized they needed to either empty it sooner, or they needed to have a bigger bin for the coins because it was too many people were playing it.
All right.
And finally, did you know the Mafia almost prevented Pong from ever existing?
They put a hit on the guy who created it?
Atari was having difficulty getting funding to manufacture it because banks were skeptical about loaning money to something that they deemed was too close to pinball, which at the time was associated with organized crime. Eventually, Wells Fargo came through with a line of credit.
You come to me on the day of my daughter.
And you want Pong money. Oh, shoot. I totally forgot we were going to do some quizzes today, too.
All right, quiz.
Let me get this open here. Oops.
Looking at that, though, look at all the switches on that one.
Yeah, that one's a little
That
more
was a more
advanced.
sophisticated one. Whenever I see that, I think of the Pac-Man and Mrs. Pac-Man. I used to enjoy those
the
more
ones
than I
you'd
did
sit
the ones
down
that
at?
stood up. Yeah,
Yep.
instead of the ones that were standing up.
All right, here we go.
It made me feel like you could see the screen better. I don't know why.
Don Cheadle was born November 29th, 1964. So we are going to do a Don Cheadle 10 movies in 1 minute
Don
quiz. Can you pick the 10 movies starring Don Cheadle?
All right.
This is on you, Frank. Are you ready?
Ready, set, go.
Here we go.
Crash. Ocean's 13. Iron Man 2. Hotel Rwanda. Wow, some of these I haven't seen. Was he in Space Jam Legacy?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I guess he was. Good guess.
Talk to Me. Wasn't that the Adam Sandler movie?
I think so.
Damn, I was hoping like other ones would have been After Sunset, I think is one.
Yeah. I do know of one that you're missing. The Guard.
Go for it. The Guard. Okay.
Great
Two
movie, by the
more.
way. 10
Just
seconds.
Before Dying, maybe? It's up in the top left corner.
Oh, nope.
Nope. Brooklyn's Finest. Nope.
Unfortunately, you didn't get it
show
there,
you
Frank.
the other two. What were the other two? Had to have been
Oh, I
Suffrage
didn't click it in time. It was
Oh, it
Hotel's
was
Finest
it.
and Hotel for Dogs.
And Hotel for Dogs.
You got 80%,
Okay, so
Frank.
I was hoping that Colors would have been on there. The old you ever seen that movie?
I don't think so. I don't think I ever did.
From the 80s with Sean Penn and Robert Duvall, where they're cops on the street. Don Cheadle plays I think he's a Crip running the house. Oh man, he was tough in that movie.
All right, Russell Wilson.
Woo!
His birthday, November 29th, 1988. So we're going to do a Seattle Seahawks quarterback quiz where he started his NFL career.
I'm getting maybe one of these, and that's it.
Really? All right. Ready?
I'd never paid attention to Seattle. I'll
Here
tell
we
you
go.
a funny story in a minute. Go ahead. Rick Meyer.
Okay.
Warren Moon.
Okay.
John Kidna.
Okay.
Russell Wilson, of course, he's
Yeah.
there. Oh.
There's your boy, Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah, I see that. I want to pick. I think Trent Dilfer was on there.
Okay. You got 3 more.
Was Sienna Wallace one of them?
You mean Seneca Wallace?
Seneca Wallace? Did
Yeah.
I say Sienna?
2 more.
Oh.
I think I
Hey,
know
let's
the
go
2
Vinny
you're missing.
Testaverde just for fun.
I don't think it's him, but here we go.
Dave Craig is the
No.
other one.
Yeah, Dave Craig. Oh, it's Jim Zorn.
Okay.
It was Dave Craig and Jim Zorn that you were missing. Not bad though. You said you're only going to get 1.
Well, because I some of them you can count out because you know that they didn't. So that it helps number it down. Like, Palmer, Warner, Ken Stabler.
And Steve Largent didn't
was
play quarterback. He was a receiver. Yeah.
Fitzpatrick was never there, even though he played everywhere.
Yeah,
Hoyer
that was like the
never
one
there.
team he didn't play for.
Yeah. So what's so funny is I used to think until I think I was about in 7th grade of middle school that the Washington Redskins were from the state, not DC.
I mean, I could understand how you'd make that mistake.
I never really paid attention to NFL until that point, and I always thought they were in Washington State.
Yeah.
And somebody at school decided to call me an idiot because they were in DC.
That totally sounds like something that's worthy of calling you an idiot for, but I guess
When you're in middle school, it is. Yeah, when you're 12, 13 years old. What are you, an idiot?
He's so stupid, Frank.
You're so stupid.
You're so stupid,
Jeez.
Sharples. Why don't you
What
shut
a
up?
moron. What do they call us back in the 90s? Stupid.
Things that you did not know about Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Such a sweet album.
So it was released on November 29th, 1982. It is considered the highest selling album of all time, sold more than 120 million copies, although those numbers are always kind of iffy when it comes to, exactly how many have been sold, and especially now where most people are streaming music. They've always tried to figure out, okay, so what would be the equivalent of streaming songs off an album to selling an album? And that's always been one of those things that's up in the air. But yeah, this is arguably the best-selling album of all time. Did you know the title of Michael Jackson's Thriller was almost Midnight Man?
Midnight Man.
Quincy,
Sounds like a country album. Sorry.
It does. Quincy Jones asked songwriter Rod Temperton to come up with a name. Temperton came up with hundreds of options before zeroing in on Midnight Man. However, one morning he woke up and just Thriller popped into his head, and he envisioned seeing that word on the top of the charts, and so they went with the title of Thriller.
Hey, premonition, man. You know what I always think about when somebody brings up Michael Jackson is that in
kids?
Hot Tub Time Machine,
I'm
where the
sorry.
guy goes, "Quick, is Michael Jackson black or white?"
Yeah. Oh, Craig Ferguson. Oh, that's one of my favorite movies, dude. That's a movie. I've been thinking about doing something. I'm glad that you brought this up while we take put a pin in Michael Jackson's Thriller really quick. Because something that I've thought about doing is almost like a Brandalorian movie club for 2025. because I started this
Mhm.
with where I was trying to think of my top 5 movies, and somehow there was a lot more than 5 in my top 5.
Yeah, there always is.
So what I'm thinking of doing is maybe in 2025, let me know in the comments if you guys are up for this. Is one of the things that I want to do is I want to create a weekly movie club. And you don't have to watch all of the movies, but every
Like
week
Oprah?
I'm gonna recommend a movie. Something that I thoroughly enjoy, and we can talk about it on the live stream. I'll post about it on social media and so on and so forth. So if that's something you guys are up for, let me know. Also, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing.
Oprah Lorian.
So Oprah Lorian, there you go. You get a movie. You get a movie. You get a Brandalorian sticker. So going back to Michael Jackson's Thriller. So the album was almost titled Midnight Man. The song was also originally called Starlight Sun.
Oh, I was hoping Smoking Man. Been like Midnight Man, Smoking Man.
It's Starlight, Starlight Sun. Like that's legitimately how that song went.
It sounds. Yep.
Now the video for Thriller was shown in theaters, so it could qualify for an Oscar.
Oh.
For 1 week, it was shown in Westwood, California, as the opening to
What year was that?
At 1982.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Disney's Fantasia.
Oh, right.
Because that, they would re-release that in theaters every so often, and that was one of the years. Parents were not happy that they took their kids to go see Fantasia, and that video
Michael Jackson
played.
shows up.
Yeah.
A bunch of zombies. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That music video as a kid freaked the living crap out of me.
I've told this story multiple times, so if you've heard it, I apologize. But legitimately, when I was 2-3 years old, I can still envision it. It was the original house that I grew up in. If MTV was on and the video came on, I just ran out of the room. Like I didn't change the channel. I didn't do anything else. I legitimately ran out of the room into the kitchen, which really wasn't that far away. There were adjoining rooms. And I just hid under the kitchen table like this. And so
Like
my mom
me with
always knew when Thriller came on because little Brandon was like this.
It's like me with Fresh Prince Freddy Krueger song. I'd just leave my room, and my mom would always go, "You just turn your radio
I just
off."
envisioned Frank just like getting up and walking out. It's like,
Yeah, I did. Just like, nope, not doing it.
So there are a few things that are borrowed for the album of Thriller. The Mama Say, Mama Sa, Mama Kusa was borrowed from a song called Soul Makossa. I don't know if I pronounced that right.
Soul Makossa?
The words were changed slightly. A lawsuit was filed, and it was eventually settled out of court.
High and Fly.
And also, according to Daryl Hall of Hall & Oates, Michael Jackson approached them during the recording of
We Are the World.
There you go, Frank! Big score!
I was just thinking it's like Hall & Oates were 10 times better in the 70s than they were when they went into the 80s. Like their look and everything in the 70s was so much better than what they transferred to in the 80s.
So if you
I was thinking about that.
So if you didn't know this, that like there had been talk about Billie Jean ripping off I Can't Go For That.
Okay.
And according to Jackson, Daryl Hall had come up to them during the recording of We Are the World to say, yeah, we totally used the bass line from your song. Like we totally did that. And finally, the video for Beat It caused a major clash between CBS Records and MTV. At the time, MTV claimed that they only showed rock videos, while there were others who claimed that they were just being racist.
Mm-hmm.
CBS Records president Walter Yetnikoff threatened to pull all the label's videos off of the struggling cable network. Because, MTV was just starting out at that time.
Right.
So Beat It ended up getting shown a couple of times a day and quickly became put in the heavy rotation because people liked it.
And why wouldn't you?
Well, kids.
And then Weird Al made it a classic.
Kids,
Just eat it.
Just eat it, eat it, eat it. All right. Ooh, this is going to be a good one because we're going to get into this. I love the song that it was on. Is it this one? Yeah. Okay, good. Nice. Real nice, Frank. Real nice.
All right, it just came up. Joke.
Things that you did not know about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You are entitled to your opinion, but this is the best Christmas movie ever. And if you don't believe so, your opinion is wrong. It was released on... What's that?
I was gonna say, so Godfather is the worst, but Christmas Vacation
Godfather
is the best.
is terrible, and Christmas Vacation is the best Christmas movie ever.
Gotcha. Go at them, people, in the comments. I'm unfollowing you.
Yeah. Send me some angry comments on YouTube. Jesus. All right, so it was released December 1st, 1989. The budget was $25 million, made $73.3 million at the box office. And I legitimately remember seeing this in the movie theater when I was 9.
You know what's so crazy is I remember going to like a movie gallery and Blockbuster as a kid, and that cover or poster being out, and it scared me because I thought it was a horror movie.
Oh,
with
because
him
it's
being
getting shocked?
electrocuted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the movie is based on a short story called Christmas 59. Now, this does get an homage when Clark here is stuck in the attic and he finds an old movie called Christmas 59. However, when he's watching the film, it's a different year. So either he changed the reels or it's a mistake because that sign that says Christmas 1955 shows up.
Yeah.
Vero says, I might be the only guy that she knows that doesn't like the Godfather. Peter Griffin agrees with me. It's what does he call it? Oh, it insists upon itself. I don't like the Godfather.
He also has an IQ of a quarter, so
Yeah, you know, I'm you know what? Screw it. I'm okay with that. Godfather sucks. When Clark gets all pissed off and he starts punching the fake Santa, in one of the first takes, he actually broke his pinky.
Oh, I believe it. Those things are made out of hard plastic.
So if you notice that he starts kicking things or he starts like chopping the antlers off of the deer, it's because his pinky was broken. Oh. And he had to keep going because the cameras kept rolling. Now, during Clark's rant, arguably one of the greatest rants of all time, the cast is on the other side of the camera and they were wearing cue cards.
I would think.
Just to help him get through that whole spiel.
You think they got to write their own words, or were they like given words?
I don't know. That would be a question that I would certainly ask one of them. I have met one of the people from the movie, and it didn't even click in my brain as I was talking to her. I met Juliette Lewis.
That'd be a fun one to meet.
She was cool, man. She was fun. Now, did you know that there was an earthquake that struck during filming?
So
Not this
I guess
particular
they filmed
part.
in Los Angeles then, right?
So if you pay close attention, you can see the camera shake ever so slightly when Aunt Bethany arrives and walks through the door. It's really, really subtle. But apparently there was an earthquake that hit at that time. And finally, did you know Beverly D'Angelo improvised the risque sight gag at the end of Christmas Vacation? So
I'm sure Chevy loved that.
So obviously the joke was when the cops yell freeze, she's cupping Clark's Yule log, if you will.
The jingle bells.
And according to D'Angelo, she mentioned it to Chevy right before that they filmed the scene to see if anybody would notice. And nobody did. So she did it in every take.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't mind.
I'm probably sure he didn't either. All right, where are we here? We got another quiz. You ready for another quiz, Frank?
Yeah, by the way, have you seen the scenes out of that SNL movie where Milton Berle is talking to Chevy Chase's girlfriend, and like Berle just whips his long out and
No, the
basically,
new
like, tells him to
one,
take
the
a hike.
SNL movie, Saturday
Yeah,
Night or
where
whatever it's called.
Yeah. Like apparently, like Chevy's trying to find his girl, and he comes across Milton like putting a Mac on her, like trying to hit on her, and and Chevy tries to crap on him by saying he's old, nobody remembers him, and he turns around and he unzips his pants and he just whips his giant dick out, and it's like,
Wasn't he known for just being hung?
Yeah, he's the one that had like a huge penis and was known for just pulling it out from time to time. So
It
yeah,
was
he
like
like was asserting dominance like right there
he
in front of
was
Chevy.
asserting dominance.
He just turned around and like he's like, "Oh, really?" He just unzips his pants and whips it out and basically
Oh, Charlie!
crapped
Thank
on
you for
Chevy's face.
the super chat there, buddy. Happy Thanksgiving, man. Hopefully everything's going good with you guys and the family and the business and all that fun stuff. Thank you for the super chat there,
You can
Charlie.
find that scene on YouTube. I suggest you check it out.
Whip
because
it
is
out.
Funny.
Here you go, Frank. Ready?
Whip it out. Whip it out. Whip it out.
All right, so we're going to do a New York Jets quiz because Mr. Aaron Rodgers
Jesus.
is Jesus Christ, get off the screen.
I liked how the screen was doing the dance to the music too.
No, I was trying to move it off so I could have my notes over here. Yeah, so we're going to do a New York Jets quarterback quiz. Frank, you're going to do good on this one? You did all right on the Seahawks.
Yeah, let's go. Maybe. I don't know. Quarterbacks. Got Brett Favre. Chad Pennington, of course. Mark Sanchez. Vinny Testaverde. He's been in all of them. Joe Namath. Joe Namath. Oh, boy. Was Geno Smith one of them?
Yeah, I remember he was drafted by the Jets.
Was he?
Yep.
I honestly don't.
Two more. You got 30 seconds to go.
Shoot. Matt Castle?
Nope.
No.
And you only get one guess left.
Let's just go Drew Bledsoe. What the hell?
Drew Bledsoe, not a Jets quarterback.
Ken
You missed
O'Brien
Ken O'Brien and Richard Dick Todd. You missed old Dick Todd.
The most just regular names that you would ever find for a quarterback.
Oh, Dick Todd. What do we do with you?
Butt fumble.
All right. Let's see here. Let's gear this bitch up, huh?
Oh, we're doing it again.
Let's go back. Here we go here. Things that you did not know about the original PlayStation. So it was released December 3rd, 1994 over in Japan. It became available in the States on September 9th, 1995.
I got one.
Quick quiz here for you, Frank.
Okay.
The original PlayStation is the 6th highest selling console of all time with 102.49 million sold. What are the 5 consoles above it that sold more?
You'll have the Super NES, I think is on there. No?
Nope.
Xbox?
No for 2.
PlayStation 2?
That's number 1. 155 million copies sold. Or console sold.
Nintendo 64? I don't know my consoles.
Apparently not.
The Jaguar?
The Jaguar. Wasn't that Atari? The Atari Jaguar?
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah.
So PlayStation 2 was number 1 with 155 million. Nintendo DS came in second. Nintendo Switch came in third. Game Boy and Game Boy Color came in fourth. And the PlayStation 4 came in fifth.
Man, I remember the Game Boy. That was sweet.
So did you know that the symbols on the Xbox buttons actually have a meaning?
To help you with shapes?
The X was no. The circle was yes. The triangle symbolizes a point of view from a person. And the square would symbolize a piece of paper or a sheet of paper, which is why that one was often used for menus.
Now they're all used in that show on Netflix.
Oh, Squid Game?
Squid Games. The Squid Game buttons.
I was trying to think of where the hell you were going with that.
I didn't know the name of the show. I don't have Netflix.
Now, back in the day, a lot of people who were like audiophiles They had a PlayStation specifically to play CDs because it was actually cheaper than a lot of the big bulky CD players that were available. And it had all the right connectors to hook it up to a full system.
Connect it up, baby.
The biggest games for the console actually used multiple discs, upwards of 5 sometimes.
Ooh. Yeah.
I'm having to swap those bad boys out.
The X-Files video game had like 4. And I could never get past like the first, like, I think I couldn't even get out of the damn office. I couldn't figure out what the heck you were looking for, and I just gave up.
Yeah, well.
And I never played the X-Files game because I couldn't get out of the office.
I got another video that's going to be coming out here soon. And it might already be out on my channel depending on when you're watching this. But do you remember the disc swap that you would do if you had a bootleg DVD, a bootleg disc?
No.
Because one of PlayStation's whole things was like anti-piracy. Like you can't put in a bootleg disc and play it.
Okay.
But there was a way that if you kept the lid up and you would legitimately swap the discs out at specific times, so it would essentially read the anti-piracy portion of the actual PlayStation disc, and then you could quickly swap in with the bootleg. You could play a bootleg disc.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Well, I mean, it was cheap.
I just gave up after I couldn't get out of the office.
Well, finally, there were a lot of things that you may have forgotten that the PlayStation, the original, had. There was a version that was released where you could actually develop your own games. It was kind of was pushed towards programmers to try to get them to develop games.
All right.
There was a smaller, compact version called the PS1 model that had a screen in it.
Yep, I remember that.
There was a gun. It was normally bundled with popular gun-controlled games like Time Crisis.
That game was so good at the arcade, so much better.
You could link multiple PlayStations together for multiplayer, or you could get the multi-tap. And that allowed for multiple controllers at one time.
I never used it. I had one of those and then just never used it.
Is it because you didn't have 3 other friends, Frank?
No, it's because nobody else had PlayStation. Everybody had Super Nintendo.
Oh, so you didn't have all the control. Like you can have this, but you still needed the controllers.
Yeah, I think I had 2 controllers, so there was no need to have 2 others because PlayStation didn't have a lot of. I think like the only game that you could put 4 people on was God, what was that? The car game where you would shoot
Twisted Metal?
Twisted Metal, yeah, Twisted Metal 2. When Twisted Metal 2 was like the thing. And it would give you the 4 screens. Otherwise, there was no real point.
And I'm telling you, Twisted Metal Black, still hands down one of my favorite video games of all time.
I have Twisted Metal 2 somewhere.
See if you can find it. Put it in that McDonald's boo bucket.
I'm gonna put like some bookshelves behind me. I'm gonna put all those old toys and all the old stuff, so it'll just be behind me.
Nice.
So you can look at it.
Then we can just look at them right there. And also one more thing that you may have forgotten that the PlayStation had. It had a mouse.
For what, coloring?
I don't know anybody that had this or ever used it.
Yeah,
but
what
it was
would it
available.
do for games in those days?
Well, I'm pretty sure that they had. Well, remember Super Nintendo? They had like Mario Paint and stuff like that.
Right. That's like the only thing that I think you could use it for is like creative aspect.
Yeah, probably. Something that Charlie would be good at with his amazing drawings, which, by the way, quick side note, since Charlie is here, he's the one that did these amazing drawings, that the real Brandalorian sticker, the old History of Rock sticker, and the cross-eyed bear right there. Make sure that you check him out. VivaLaMocha.com is the website. And also here on the channel, there's 2 different member tiers. If you want to become a channel supporter, that's 99 cents a month, and you'll get a free sticker pack. I'll send that to you in the mail. If Javi's here, I still got to get his in the mail. And then there's another tier. It's $4.99 a month. That's a Memberlorian. You get the stickers. You'll also get a T-shirt with one of those designs on it. Sizes aren't guaranteed, but I still got a boatload of the shirts. So if you want to become a Memberlorian, go ahead, sign up. I'll get the notification that you did. Then you can always hit me up in Facebook, Discord, Instagram, or something. Send me your address, and I'll ship it in the mail to you.
T-shirt time. T-shirt time.
Oh, I thought I turned the music off. I guess I didn't.
That reminded me of Jersey Shore. T-shirt time.
Charlie says I need an upgrade on my logo. I'm down for upgrades. What would you like to do? What would we upgrade?
Need input. Why did they ever do Short Circuit Christmas special?
Huh?
Why did they ever do a Short Circuit Christmas special where he learns
With
about
Johnny
Christmas?
Number 5?
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. Where did that thought come from? Because I was literally changing topics.
I was, because I said need input, and then we're in the season, and I was like, I want to see number 5.
You know what?
Christmas.
I was going to restart this. I'm just going to go through, and I'm just going to press forward. Things that you didn't know about Ozzy Osbourne. He was born December 3rd, 1948. His real name, John Michael Osbourne.
Almost John Michael.
Now, he dabbled in burglary a little bit when he was growing up, and he wasn't that good at it. He said he got busted, he got fined, he couldn't pay his fine, and he ended up in jail for a bit. Also, at one point, Ozzy Osbourne and Zakk Wylde damn near killed a guy because they hurled a TV out of...
Damn near killed a guy.
Yeah, they hurled a TV out of the window of the Four Seasons, and they didn't realize it when they looked down. There was a dude that was like smoking a cigarette. It was right near where the TV. Which, by the way, Zakk Wylde right here, one of the coolest guys on the planet, man. I've met him on multiple occasions. That dude is just awesome. That guy is so much fun.
Wild?
He has toned it down a lot. I think he actually quit drinking because of health problems.
So he's Zach Mild now?
He is Zakk Mild. Well played, Frank. Good dad joke right there.
Welcome. You're welcome.
When his first wife went into labor with his first child, she told him that he needed to get her to the hospital. Not only did Ozzy not have a driver's license, he was also...
High?
Wasted. Yeah, he was. But they made it safe and they had the kid. Now, probably one of the most popular stories from Ozzy Osbourne. This isn't something that you probably didn't know. This is just a reminder. Back in 1982, he urinated on the Alamo.
Yeah. Didn't get him banned from San Antonio?
He was banned from San Antonio for a decade. And another one, a story you probably do know. He did bite the head off a bat. Somebody threw it up on stage. He thought it was a fake bat. He thought it was like a rubber bat. And he just went and bit it and head popped right off. But this next story, which I haven't quite been able to confirm yet, rolls right into that one where when he signed his first solo record deal, he wanted doves released into the air as a sign of peace. In typical Ozzy fashion, he got wasted. And nobody was monitoring him, and he apparently bit the head off one of the doves. And he walked back to the group with blood trickling down his mouth. Again, I haven't been able to confirm that one, so let me know in the comments if that one is off or whatever's going on there.
I'm sure it's true.
And finally, he worked in a slaughterhouse when he was 16 years old, and he did everything from... removing the innards of the cow to actually being the one who had to kill the cow.
Look at those boots.
That is good old Ozzy Osbourne right there, man. All right.
Crazy train.
You know, I saw him one time. It was at Ozfest, and it was with, and I've told this story a few times too, but just in case you haven't heard it, because I saw him, it was the original Black Sabbath lineup. I was close enough that I could literally see the tips of Tony Iommi's fingers. Because remember, he's missing the tips of some of his fingers. And Ozzy's voice was so bad that day, I left after like the second song.
Wow.
I was super excited because I was finally getting to see the original lineup of Black Sabbath. It was going to be awesome. It made my head hurt.
Was he sick?
He was battling something. And... come to find out, he legitimately, would always try to push through, regardless of what was going on, and it showed that night. It definitely showed that night. Unfortunately, that was not an easy listen. Things that you did not know about Black Mirror, a show that apparently Frank has not seen.
Yep. I know nothing.
It's really good. And the best part about Black Mirror is it's an anthology series. So a lot like Twilight Zone, which did influence it heavily, you can just watch one episode.
Is this by Peel?
No.
Okay.
No. This was created by a gentleman by the name of Charlie Brooker.
All right. Good job, Charlie.
And it debuted back on December 4th, 2011. Now, over on IMDb, they do have a ranking of all of the episodes. The number one episode, at least according to, they took all the fan reviews, the ratings, and they compiled them. Number one is White Christmas, and that's the one with John Hamm. Complete mind F, which a lot of the episodes are. But the other ones, it goes White Christmas, Hang the DJ. If you've seen Black Mirror, you know which episodes I'm talking about. Number 3 was Black Museum. Number 4, The Entire History of You. And then number 5, San Junipero.
I know nothing.
No, I was going to say, Frank has no idea what we're talking about. So the show originated over on Channel 4 in the UK. And there was a bidding war between AMC, Sci-Fi, HBO, and Netflix to get the rights to the show. Obviously, Netflix won out.
So they overpaid.
The very first episode involves something pretty gross with a pig. The act that is to be performed at the end of the first episode, they went through a lot of different ideas. And at one point, creator Charlie Brooker said they were thinking about a giant wheel of cheese being involved. Again, highly recommend this, Frank. Go watch this. Now, there have been ideas for spin-offs and possible movies based on some of the stories. Back in 2013, Robert Downey Jr.'s production company optioned the rights for the entire history of You. So the premise of this movie, and I'm going to apologize for anybody who is a true fan of Black Mirror, and they're going to be like, oh my God, we know what it means. This is for Frank.
Spoilers.
This is one where you legitimately, it records everything that you see. And you kind of watch, and it's from this one guy's perspective. He has an interview for a job. He then goes to like a holiday party with some friends. They have him put up the interview on the big screen so that they can all watch it from his perspective and critique him. Like it's, oh man, it's brutal.
Okay.
But there had been talks of that. There's also been talks of a spinoff for the USS Callister. Oh crap! I didn't download a picture for that. That's the one that was Star Trek-ish. But it has been confirmed that there will be a sequel to the USS Callister in the upcoming 7th season. Now, Brooker wrote the role of Joan in Joan is Awful, specifically for Annie Murphy after binging on Schitt's Creek.
Mm-hmm.
Same episode that had Salma Hayek in it.
Look at her.
Now,
in
that same episode, they create kind of a fake streaming service.
Okay.
That's called Streamberry. And they were nervous about, okay, is Netflix going to be cool with us kind of mocking them? Netflix was all about it. They were like, have at it, man. Go.
Yeah, we paid $50 million. We don't care.
Yeah, like do what you guys need to do. Now, Brooker has also said that he generally knows how an episode is going to end. 99% of the episodes end awful. There have been some curveballs thrown in there. But he said specifically, quote, "The endings were baked in fairly early on. When you're writing, I find it's really useful to have a final image in mind. Usually it is an image rather than like a line of dialogue. Then you've at least got a direction to travel. It just means that you're not just staring at a blank page and feeling inadequate. You're staring at a blank page and feeling inadequate because you know where you should be." And finally, the story Beyond the Sea, which had Aaron Paul, Josh Hartnett, Kate Mara. This one, it's all about two guys who were astronauts, basically isolated away from everybody. That whole story was inspired by the pandemic, shockingly. I'm telling you, Frank, I'm a little surprised you actually have not seen this. Being
that don't have Netflix.
Why not?
I don't really do streaming, man. I got Disney Plus. Remember, I told you I got Disney
Oh,
Plus.
that's
I
right.
got
Yeah,
some
and
other.
Frank got all super excited because he found the box set of Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I did, but that was Cartoon Network. $20, Walmart. Good deal.
You guys have no idea the conversations we have before we start streaming and how. Like, did you see him light up right there? Look at that face. Look at how excited he is because he got the box set of Courage the Cowardly Dog.
The complete series.
The complete series. Yeah, it's the whole thing. Yeah, you don't want to sell it short there, Frank.
Never sell it short. Go for the long ball.
Things that you did not know about Good Will Hunting. It was released back on December 5th, 1997. It had a budget of just $10 million. And it made $225.9 million at the box office. Now, the original idea for the movie was actually going to be more of a thriller with the
Michael
FBI.
Jackson?
Huh?
Michael Jackson?
No. With the FBI using Will's talents as a cryptanalyst. That obviously never came to fruition.
You could see that.
Sean McGuire, who was played by Robin Williams, is based on Matt Damon's mom and Ben Affleck's dad. It's like a
That's a weird, yeah.
combination
Okay.
of the two. Well, I would assume more mannerisms of how they both
They
are.
did write it though, right? They wrote the movie, so I guess it
There
could make
were
sense.
rumors that like Kevin Smith had written it, or there was other people. Like there was some rumors that they didn't, but
Yeah.
I will still fully embrace the fact that they did write it.
Yeah, I think Kevin Smith, with as much as he likes to talk, I think he would have already said something if he
Yeah.
actually
Oh
wrote
yeah.
it.
Yeah. When Damon and Affleck pitched the idea originally, the studio wanted Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt in their roles.
Yeah, I could see that. That was in the 90s, yeah.
By the way, I always forget this actor's name. He's in Tombstone?
Yeah, he's also on no, he's not in Tombstone. He's in that Yellowstone.
No, Yellowstone.
show.
That's it. Yeah, he was in Yellowstone.
But you know who his dad is? His dad was like a B movie star in the 70s and has the craziest name, and I can't remember his. I'm gonna look it up right now
Hauser.
for you. Cole Hauser. His dad is a B movie legend.
Wings Hauser?
Yeah, dude, that guy has some of the craziest B-type movies from the 80s you will ever see. And there's one through the 90s where it looks like somebody with a camcorder recorded it, and he's like drunk through the whole thing. Like he just does not give a damn about the movie. He's like, yeah, we're gonna go over here, and he's like looking at the camera. Do this thing right
Well,
here.
because everybody keeps posting about how like this is when you were introduced to him, and
Right.
you know, and then they'll show like a previous role of his.
Right.
The first one I remember him from was Higher Learning. He plays one of the it rhymes with Schmatzy.
Right. I think
Or
mine would
sorry,
have
it
been
rhymes with
Dazed.
Schminhead.
Mine would have been Dazed and Confused.
Oh yeah, he wasn't Dazed and Confused as well. So Damon and Affleck, they also put in the script a fake sex scene between their characters so they could tell who actually read the script.
Okay.
Are you watching the stream there, Frank?
Gotcha. Yeah, I was wondering why you put the sequel.
I
of
specifically
it up there.
put in the picture from.
I didn't want to interrupt you
No,
with
dude,
that,
no, the
but I
whole
was
point
like,
was for you to do that, man.
oh, for the sequel. My bad. I was letting you do the sex thing because I was like, oh look, you put the sequel picture in there.
Hell yes, I did. What was it? Lemon face? Ooh, tiger face. Ah.
Lemon face. Tiger face. How about them apples? Oh, yeah.
I don't
yeah,
like
yeah,
them
yeah.
apples, Will. What are we gonna do? I don't know why he sounds like Adam Sandler. Now, director Gus Van Sant had a change that did not end up happening. He wanted Chucky to die. That was the character played by Ben Affleck.
Mhm.
The scene was written, but then when he actually read it, he didn't like it, so he kept it out.
Okay. He went back on his own writing.
Well, I mean, sometimes
that for the
just
sequel.
just gotta flesh out the ideas there.
So you got to save it for the sequel.
You gotta save it for the sequel. I don't like them apples, Will. And finally, did you know an article in Variety helped Matt Damon rent a house? Castle Rock Entertainment bought the script for Good Will Hunting for $600,000. However, Damon and Ben Affleck had such horrible credit, they struggled to find a place to live.
Right.
They applied to rent a house that was $3,000 a month.
Jesus.
They showed the landlord the article in Variety about their script being purchased as proof that they would be able to make rent.
I do remember hearing stories of him, like when he first was in Hollywood, he was like sleeping on like couches of people that either had already had roles, or like a lot of the more famous people these days was like just sleeping on their couches because they could not afford housing at that time.
No housing.
No housing, but
Absolutely no housing.
They stayed at Cole Hauser's house with his dad Wing, and he was like, "Oh no, make a movie and get drunk."
Wings Hauser.
Dude, I'm telling you, got to find a movie with him in it. He's fucking nuts.
Now I really want to look up Wings Hauser and find out what exactly we got going on there.
He like most of his movies, he looks like he's either inebriated or high on something. Then he has some movie where it's like they go to this small town and there's zombies, and he like acts his butt off, and it's like his best movie he's ever done. It came out like 87 or 86. I don't know what it was. But the majority of the other ones, he just looks like he's 3 sheets to the wind and all.
All right, it is draft time, and we're not doing movies this time. We are actually going to be doing TV Christmas specials.
Special.
And for the third option, I actually have gone to a website, and I'm just going to go in order of how they have them ranked. However, Frank and I said earlier, F the bots and AI, they get to go last.
Yeah.
So Frank will be
Stupid
selecting
overlords.
first. I will be selecting second. And then we're going to go whatever to the next TV special. Now, this isn't TV specials as in like a TV show did a Christmas episode. It had to be an isolated Christmas special. So, Frank, what is your first pick?
I'm going with probably the most known one. I'm going with the Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh, Charlie Brown with
That's
that
the best music.
that hot garbage speech by Linus.
As probably the you know the best like meaning to it. It's a good one. Don't be so commercial, people.
Well, you know,
From the
just-
60s.
kind of depends. All right, so for mine, I have to get mine picked first before this one gets snatched up. And
Yeah.
I'm going with Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Yeah, I like that one. That's a good one.
This one is absolutely fantastic. It is a much watch every year. It's only like 40 minutes long or something like that, which is interesting because there was a big time gap of watching it, at least for myself. And so when I went to go rewatch it a few years ago for the first time in, maybe 10, 15 years, I totally forgot that it wasn't that long.
Yeah.
All right. So that pretty much opens up the door for the old website.
But he takes
Their
the Grinch.
first one is going to be the Grinch. And then the second one, what do you think the second one's going to be?
Rudolph.
Rudolph is correct.
That's a good one.
I mean, they're good. They're good. The Island of Misfit Toys, all that stuff is
The way his
enjoyable.
nose glowed and made that noise always kind of weirded me out as a kid. I was like, why is it humming?
All right, for my second pick, I am going to go. This one was, and see, I always post these on Instagram and Facebook. You can find them at The Real Brandalorian, where I just put them in order of who picked them. And the whole point is to create the best sort of triple feature. Normally we do movies. Where here we're obviously just doing TV Christmas specials. And I like to get mine. Oh God, see now there's 3 that I want, and I
Like
don't
to
know
get
which ones
mine.
to pick. But damn it, I'll go a little. This isn't the one that I was originally going to go with, because the third one I have it's coming way out of left field that I don't think anybody's even going to know about.
Okay.
But my second pick, I'm going Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
Nah, I knew you would probably go with that one. You love them Emmett Otters.
Man, if you have not seen the outtakes to Emmett Otter? Oh my goodness. Look it up on YouTube. Hilarious. All right, Frank, you get to go back to back here, my man.
Potty mouth otters.
Yeah.
But you could. I'm not saying I'm going to pick this one, but would you consider Pee-wee's Christmas special?
I guess.
Because it wasn't really like his show; it was an actual.
See, and that's where this is where it's kind of iffy. And like, I guess yes, I would be willing to accept that one because it's even if it's based on a TV show, if it was isolated as a Christmas special, you know what I mean?
Right.
All right. So, what is your second pick?
I don't know if you have this one on there, but I'm going with Will Vinton's claymation Christmas special.
Oh, damn! I can't believe I didn't have that one.
Dude, that one, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, no. There's no explanation needed.
I don't know if nobody's watched this. Again, you can go to YouTube and find it. Just type in Will Vinton's claymation because they have some of the best. It's all claymation. Some of the best skits. You got the California Raisins. You have, what other skits they have? Oh, they have a bunch of different skits there, but it's really good. It's about 30 minutes long. It's about 5-6 different skits. If you guys can find it on YouTube, just look them up. The bells, the chorus of the bells, that's fantastic. I post that every year. That's so great with the bells.
Yeah, you can most likely you can. It's only truly was a special. It's 24 minutes long. You can probably find at least all of the chunked up segments on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So give it a shot. All right, so that's your second pick. What's your third pick?
I am going to go with. Didn't the A Year Without Santa Claus, didn't it have like the miser or whatever the heck it was?
I don't remember which one it was, but is that the one that you want?
Yeah, I'm going with The Year Without Santa Claus.
This dude down here, right? Those guys.
Yeah, the misers. Those guys those like made that whole special. Especially the fire miser. Look at him, little cheeky devil.
All right, so I already know what I'm gonna pick, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna jump ahead.
Yeah.
For the third pick for this website, and it has actually no, I take it back. It wasn't Santa Claus Is Coming to Town. It's Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, Frosty.
So obviously those three picks are all kind of the classic choices. Now, there's a lot here, and I'm a little surprised that Frank did not go with.
Yeah, the holiday special.
I'm a little surprised you didn't do that.
Honestly,
Jules is here in the chat. What's up, buddy?
I've never seen that one. I'll be honest. Like everybody crapped on it so bad, I never wanted to. I've seen like bits and pieces of it.
I think everybody kind of has, and it was
when I saw Mark Hamill with like the bleach blonde, like buttered up hair, and it didn't even look like him. It looked like a body double that was punched in the face and molded to be him. I was like, I think I'm good on this.
All right, so Julie, here's what we're doing. This will give me a good chance to kind of synopsize, if you will, what we're doing here for Julie. So we're doing our draft, and it's Christmas TV specials. So Frank already has his 3. Now these aren't TV shows that had a Christmas episode. It's an isolated Christmas special. So he's got Charlie Brown Christmas, Will Vinton's Claymation Christmas, and Year Without a Santa Claus. I went to a random website and used their rankings in order. And the triple feature there are The Grinch, Rudolph, and Frosty the Snowman. So far, my 2, I have Mickey's Christmas Carol and Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. So now I'm going to get to and we're going through some of the, whatchamacallit, what am I talking about here, Frank? The honorable mentions.
Honorable mention.
Brain farted right there. Which, by the way, another side note. We had Nutcracker practice. So if anybody's like from El Paso, you guys come check out the Nutcracker. It's going to be at McGoffin Auditorium at UTEP. I'm in it.
Nuts.
And I had such a crazy day today. I was zoning out, and one of the other dads who's performing in the party scene, he's like, Brandon. I was so zoned out, man. Like he's like, Brandon. I'm like, oh yeah, what? What? All right, so some of the honorable mentions. Obviously, you have like the classic stuff. You got Little Drummer Boy. That's when they did all those ones back in the day.
Puppets.
you had stuff like this. There was, Trek the Halls. But I am actually down to a couple of different options. Olaf's Frozen Adventure is not one of them.
Oh, Lord. I'm about to say, I don't know if anything like, was it a Ninja Turtle Christmas special?
No.
Oh,
the Olaf one's not terrible though. I mean, we will watch it. I remember getting roped into that though, because remember they showed that they produced that and they weren't quite sure what they were going to do with it, so they threw it at like the beginning of Coco when you saw it in the theaters, and it's like 30 minutes long. So you were locked in, man. So one of my honorable mentions, I was going to pick this one until I really kind of narrowed it down. A Garfield Christmas.
Yeah. I love that one. I would have picked that one too at some point. That's a good one. I think my dad still has that on like VHS at his house.
I still just remember how, like, when they're singing, ooh, like that. And like how their lips look like, ooh, like that.
I just love the grandma and that grandma's old gruff lady that probably drinks a bottle
she was
of whiskey
great,
every
man.
night.
She's probably got a bottle of whiskey hidden behind the toilet.
Yeah. I'm gonna get my shotgun.
So, but my third one to go with Mickey's Christmas Carol and Emmett Otter is going to be A Wish for Wings That Work.
Wow.
Have you ever seen this?
Never heard of that. No.
So are you familiar with Bloom County, Bill the Cat, Opus?
I know, I've seen it and like know of them, but I'm like, they're comic, like newspaper comic, right?
So this selection, it's also a nod to my dad, because my dad is a huge Opus and Bill fan. Back when we would be out fishing and we'd use the CB radios and stuff, my dad's handle was Opus.
All right. Was yours Bill?
No, I kept changing mine. At one point I was He-Man. Another time I was God, I don't even remember. But yeah, so the whole premise of this is Opus goes to these meetings for birds that can't fly, or they're dealing with all these other things. And there's a kiwi bird in this meeting that's voiced by Robin Williams, and it is freaking hilarious. He's like, "Oh, Dolores wanted somebody with wings, and albatross. She went with an albatross." Like, go watch it. Go watch that one scene. With just look up A Wish for Wings That Work with Dolores or the albatross or the kiwi. Like, it is hilarious. But on that note, that is going to wrap it up here. We have Frank, Charlie Brown Christmas, Claymation Christmas, and Year Without a Santa Claus, my triple feature, Mickey's Christmas Carol, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, and A Wish for Wings That Work. And then the random website that we chose, random, by the way, it was IMDb, The Grinch Stole Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and Frosty the Snowman. And that is going to be all that she said for this episode here.
How many people you think in the comments of that go, what about the Simpsons Christmas special?
Yeah, I kind of thought about that, but that's just really technically the first episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah, I mean,
But you could consider it a true special because it wasn't like, it was isolated. Like, that aired, and then the actual show wasn't like next week, new episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I went with it was part of a series, so I left it alone.
True. But yeah, so Charlie, thank you for the super chat. Thanks for being here. Julie, thanks for showing up, man. I got to pop into yours and say hi again. I've been checking out your streams, except I'm not saying hi. I need to say hi. And everybody else, thank you for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the old channel. And we'll be back again next Wednesday. We're going to start doing some really fun stuff sort of wrapped around Christmas and what it was like when we were kids. One of the things that I'm going to do is I want to take... and I've mentioned this in previous streams. I'm going to take what was the hot toy of a specific year. For example, 1992, the Talk Boy. The one that Macaulay Culkin had in Home Alone 2. And then I'm going to look up on eBay and we're going to see, like, is that worth more now? Is it worth less? Are they still around? Whatever it is. So we're going to have some fun with some things like that. Of course, there's always the things that you didn't know, and we're going to cover the YouTube polls. Don't forget about those. Those are up on the YouTube channel at The Real Brandalorian. 3 videos drop every single day. Some days before dropping because I'm taking clips out of this. And yeah, so on that note, you guys have yourselves a fantastic Thanksgiving. Please be safe. It can get crazy out there. Cold weather, ice, dipshits drinking and driving. Just don't be that guy. Make sure that you guys are being as safe as possible. Enjoy it. And hopefully there's no arguments within your family. Hopefully everybody's allowed to get along and realize that
Be excellent to one another.
whether it's politics, religion, or whatever you might not agree on, that's not the important part of the time. It's literally just being able to hang out and something that we can all agree on, something that I even know Julie can agree on. Cowboys suck. Oh, Charlie will too. Charlie's a Bears fan, and Charlie's wife, oh, she hates the Cowboys. But yeah, so
Enjoy
on
the
that
parade.
So on that note, everybody have a great Wednesday. Have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Be safe this weekend, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday.
I think they'll have a Ronald McDonald balloon this year.